Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy KJ5 to the 2. You're listening to
Yo, what they do? It's your boy Official, and I just came by to encourage my brother SA with ampedradio and whoever else is part of this.
Yo, what's good, fam? It's your boy DM, and you listening to SA from Death to Self Records on ampedradio. Check it out.
I'm covered in the blood while he hung, cause he drifted wet. While he was in the garden.
What up? It's your boy Bishop Chase, man. You know, just wanted to leave a shout out to my man SA. Man, you doing big things, man. Keep repping Christ. You know, keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing with the show, man. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Youngtown.
Girl LS.
Fresh name.
This is Kim Prince.
I just want to encourage y'all to be checking out ampedradio, one of the hottest radio shows on the web right now, for your music to be played as well as other music to be played as well as your music and stuff like that. Hey, you listening to ampedradio. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you do, man. God moves. Alright, bro. One love.
Keep it locked right here.
All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. What do you do? It's your boy SA. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode of ampedradio. This is episode number 16, and we're back. We had a little bit of a interesting schedule the last couple weeks. Last week we didn't actually do an episode, so we're here to make up time. Today we are talking about My Story, His Glory, where I'm going to get into my personal story. Next up, we got His Party by Oeasy, followed by Be Awake to Dream by J Deuce. Stay tuned because you are in the mix, and we will be right back after this. Check it out. And don't go anywhere.
It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party.
New York Bangers.
It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party. Yeah, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and peoples that scared the Lord, people they all cowards. Christians is bold as lions and demons is wallflowers. Jokers is all jobbers, and yes sir, my Jesus MacGyver can make something out of nothing without even a problem. Even a fool is considered wise if he's silent. You can fly first class if God is your pilot. Let the light of Christ shine so bright. Ultraviolet, all hearts flush away your mess like a toilet. Call it vampire gullet. Easily gotten me through waters I ain't never tried it. You can keep your wear Charlotte and your letter scarlet. I'm about to get my father bid started. It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party.
Oh my God.
It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party. I wanna know, Lord, am I on the path that you want me on? I might fall, but I thank Him for the sunny born. Help me spring back from a fall like a bungee cord. Feel like a clown trying to get these church folk from one accord. It's inside inside living, but my outside ghost of my infirmities is what I boast. This furnace of affliction got me squirming, man, I'm flinching. I can't stand the heat, so I must step about that kitchen. This is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party.
Oh my God, they did it again. They did it again.
It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party. It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party.
New York Bangers.
It's all about the Father, this is His party. Jesus came to get the Father's bid started. Now I'ma enter partnership with His party.
Contact sales at NewYorkBangers.com for the tagless version today.
turn it up.
This is not your ordinary radio.
What you got? Alright.
You're listening to Ant Radio.
Where the party
Brought
at?
to you by D2S Records. We got you in the mix.
Gotta be awake to dream. You gotta be awake to dream. Yeah. Take my voice and borrow it and let it inspire. Use it for inspiration, let it call you higher. It's a gift I share cause it was given to me. God expects that from me, he says it's my responsibility. Definitely I'm prepared for infinity. Till my heart stops, forever making an impact lyrically. Till your soul rocks, your kids and their kids will grow up feeling me. Enlightening young minds to dream successfully. Success is free. Remember me, but don't be afraid to surpass me. If you ain't striving to be the best, then what's the point of me? I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but God allows it, I'ma take it. What's the definition of it? The true meaning of greatness? There can only be one, but how is it that every rapper claims if the torch is not even passing on, now all of a sudden it's taken? But I ain't complaining, I'ma let my passion drive me to my limits. If I ever end up with the torch, I'ma grasp it tight till my hands bleed and run with it. Times you fail, take it as a lesson learned, and the dream becomes a reality which one day you'll earn. Victory is sweet, like brown sugar is golden. That's why I'm catching diabetes with this mic I'm holding. Better than grabbing bling bling or getting rich or fame. A rapper and the artist aren't really the same. You need to spit your true story, not some fascination. Don't stir up your facts into a pot of exaggeration. It's stupid to waste any God-given ability, especially when he expects you to use your talents diligently. Feeding on parables from the book of Matthew 25:14-39. I'm wasting my dreams unreachable. You gotta be awake. Wait to dream. You gotta be awake. You gotta be awake. Wait to dream. You gotta be awake to dream. Women have it the worst, their life hurts cause the evil men deserve to be incarcerated for life in the state. Penance and the pedophiles from Penn State. Real men shouldn't relate to the state of these wicked men who chose their fate. A real man would die for our women and children, not the opposite. When stuck in evil ways they can't comprehend what logic is. Take out the last four letters of mankind. Stand as one with a bad rep, most of us blind. Until we look and we try to see the world through God's eyes. When it rains it pours, but we don't realize that God cries. Everyone wants the truth and wants forgiveness, but some can't handle the truth. We heard it from Nicholson, but we still got a few good men. Need the deliverance, emerging God's teardrops and walking with him is our deliverance. In the cold world, we can prevent people from shivering. It's time for men to live a dream that's dreamt by women and children. You gotta be awake. Wait to dream. You gotta be awake.
That, as always, is Be Awake to Dream by J Deuce. And that was coming after a new track by Oeasy called His Party. So hope you enjoy these 2 tracks. We are back, and I am just so excited to be here with you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for checking out Amps Radio. This is episode number 16, and today we're going to talk about my story, His glory, how to turn your struggles into victories. So for today's episode, I figured that we get a little bit personal with just myself, because a lot of times when people talk, it's like, okay, you don't really understand who I am and what I'm going through. Well, let me tell you my side of things. Let me tell you my story, and maybe you can relate with that. Because usually when I give advice, it's usually not advice that I don't take myself. And when I speak, I'm usually speaking to myself as well. But it is also for the benefit of those that I'm talking to. So just wanted to introduce that real quick. That is today's topic. And also just wanted to say that we are live right now. If you are checking us out on Facebook or YouTube, we are here. And want to give a quick shout out to Leah, what's up? Just typing it right here on the watch party. So if you are on Facebook, go ahead and check us out. Just type in D2S Records and you can see us there. And if you are on, YouTube, just go to YouTube, look up Amped Radio, and we're under the Depth of Self Records account, so you can check that out there. What else do I got for you? Oh, as always, the replays are going to be on, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, so on and so forth. And just wanted to let you know that iTunes is actually not going to be around much longer. So if you are into Apple and you follow what they do, they made an announcement, I think it was a couple weeks ago, for the WWDC 19 event in San Jose, California, where they were talking about all their latest software iterations, the updates, and they also said that they're going to be doing away with iTunes, and in place of that, there's going to be 3 new apps. One of it is Apple Podcasts, the other one is Apple TV, and the third is, what is the third one? So we got Apple Music. So just letting you know, we won't be using the term iTunes much longer. But for now we will. We'll soak every ounce of the whole iTunes loving, because it's been with us for so many years. It's gonna be weird not to be able to say iTunes, but iTunes is now becoming Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or Apple TV. So yeah. All right, so a little bit of a different format. I'm actually going to talk to you for a little bit and then cut to a commercial break or music break, and then I'm going to come back and wrap it up, followed by another commercial break. Why do I keep saying commercial break? I mean music break. I figured this would be this will actually help out the flow, help you to stay focused, because y'all millennials out there, y'all can't pay attention. You can't listen for more than 5 minutes. If it doesn't have some kind of fun little thing about it, you ain't gonna listen. And so, I'm trying to give you some meat, some substance here, and I don't know. But anyway, guys, so yeah, I'm gonna come back in a little bit. We're gonna talk for a little bit first. So today, like I said, we're talking about my story. And whose story? My story. I'm gonna tell you all about your boy Essay right here. So let you know, your boy's got feelings up in this place. And just one little quick thing. If you are watching us live on the video, my light up there does not work. So I know I have a little bit of time left before the sun goes down. So if you're watching this and it gets like really dark, please forgive me. I gotta look into that. I just found out about it last night. And I couldn't get to it. So yeah, I'm a little behind on that. So sorry for the inconvenience. And Leah's like, yeah, that's kind of true. Nobody likes to stay tuned to, a lot of talking. All right, so let's get back on track, and then we're gonna hit you up with some more music. Is that cool? Cool. Okay, so first off, who is your boy? Now, I'm gonna be a little bit transparent with you guys. So please, for anyone that's easily offended, don't get triggered. Can y'all promise that? Don't get triggered. This is not an episode where you will slam me with a bunch of, labels. I don't want to be labeled. I just want to show you what I've been through and show you how God got me through it. All right? Maybe you can relate. So starting from the top, I was born and raised in the Bronx of New York City. I lived there until I was 23 when I moved here, thanks to my gorgeous wife. But I grew up in a black neighborhood. And so I myself, for those who don't know, if you're looking at me on live video, you can see the color of my skin. Not that that's important, but you can see that my tone, I'm a little melanin challenged, I guess. But I myself am a Puerto Rican. And pretty sad for one is that, because I'm honestly not fluent in Spanish. But suffice to say, that's what I am. I am a Puerto Rican. And my entire life, I've had so many people, like literally everyone, does not know what I am. They look at me and they just stare at me and like, the heck are you? Because they can't tell. So anyway, I lived in a black neighborhood, and I was the white kid. So, like in the hip hop world, you got, hip hop in itself is a black art in a sense. It was started by black people. There's roots in it that goes way into history. I'm not going to get into the history of that. But yeah, it was started by black people. It's from black culture. That's what hip hop started off as. And, you got little white dudes in there trying to make it big. You got Eminem, you got Beastie Boys, you got all these other, MGK and all that stuff, right? But still, it's attributed as a black culture art. So in that sense, I'm kind of like that little Slim Shady in my neighborhood, right? I was that little white kid. But I was not cool like Eminem is. I was more of they call me Screech. If you ever seen Saved by the Bell, I was your boy Screech. That's what I was. I was skinny, had a long neck. I still have a long neck. And the sad part is that I didn't fit in. I was bullied. I was picked on throughout my entire life that I lived there. And I remember, saying to people, man, no, I'm not even white. Like, I'm not a white guy. I'm Puerto Rican. And they're like, no, you're not. You're white. I said, no, my last name is Torres. And they're like, no, you're white. And so, hey, what's up? Shout out to Fernando. What's up, man? Good to see you, man, on the chat here on the watch party. I used to be called the white kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's like, again, please don't get triggered here. None of this is scripted. This is just coming off my dome. But the reason why this bothered me is because I had a sense of identity that was lost, because I thought I knew who I was, and yet people were telling me who I am or who I was. They were telling me, they were dictating to me, no, you're not this, you're that. And because they call me the white guy, they also disrespected me and treated me poorly because of that. Now, I'm not into racism. I'm not a leader on racist discussion. This ain't about that. But what I'm telling you is that I used to get bullied. I used to get pushed around, and I used to get made fun of because of the color of my skin. That's how it was for me growing up. And the fact is that it wasn't even true. I was not a white guy. Not that it mattered, and that even if I was a white guy, who the heck cares, right? But the reason why I bring this up is because this was one of my first major struggles in life. All I wanted to do was to fit in. And I remember one time I had a lot of, I just did not fit no matter what I did. And so one thing that didn't work out for me was that I was a church boy. And unlike Texas, where I live right now, in New York, it's not popular to be a Christian, right? So if you admit that you're a Christian, chances are you're real, you're legit, right? Down here, it's kind of like tradition. Oh yeah, I go to church. Yeah. My mama drags me every Sunday. Yeah, I'm Christian. But then you partying, drinking, doing weed and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you live in a lifestyle that is very much contrary to what, a lifestyle of someone following Christ would be, right? So that's what people are. That's what a lot of people are down here. But up in New York, you don't play. It's like, why you're a Christian? It's not a cool thing to say. Unlike here, it's like, well, it's almost expected. But up there, nah. So one thing that didn't work in my favor was that I was a Christian. So they used to ask me all sorts of questions. Like, I had kids come up to me and be like, so you're supposed to forgive me no matter what I do, right? Yeah. Oh, okay, so if I punch you in the face, are you gonna forgive me? The Bible says turn the other cheek. Oh, okay, so if I throw you down a flight of stairs, kick you while you're down, throw rocks at you, they just went on and on. You have to forgive me, right? I guess. I'd probably be dead by then, but yeah. So it was insane the expectations that was weighed upon me and the fact that I just did not fit in because I was a Christian. So that was one thing that didn't work in my favor. The second thing was the fact that I just looked different. You know, I always stuck out. I stuck out so hardcore because I was a Christian. I was a nice guy. I did not cuss, right? I did not talk dirty, right? So all those reasons were like, well, this kid does not fit in. Also, at the time, I did not like rap music. I mean, it was the music of my, my hood, my streets. But I did not like rap music because I did not like the content within it. Odd enough, I'm doing rap now, but I'm doing it for Christ. Back then, it wasn't even a thing. So I did not fit in no matter what. And there was so many times where I just get out of school, I'd be pushed down on the floor, I'd be picked on, bullied, stuff taken from me. I used to draw a lot, so all my drawings used to be crumpled up, thrown away. I used to cry on a regular basis, come home feeling, just really messed up. And I remember what this caused me to deal with was this. I used to see myself in the mirror as like this deformed creature. So I would look like, I remember coming home, like I'd walk home from school and I would see my reflection in like the car mirrors and the windows. And I would see like, not what you see here, but I would see like this deformed version of me. So I was always made fun of for having a skinny long neck. Well, what I would see literally in my reflection was exaggerated 2 to 3, 4 times. My nose was a lot bigger. My Adam's apple stuck out so much further. I looked like a monster. And this was stuck in my head for such a long time. Because I was bullied and picked on because I did not fit in. Now, we're actually going to come to a music break and then we're going to come right back. I'm going to tell you the rest of my story and how I was able to turn this into God's glory. So as we get into it, the next song break we got here is just some that you've heard before, but amazing songs nonetheless. We got Blaze Torch with Deliverance and Old Friend, which is a new track by Rhetoric. So you stay tuned for that. We got probably a minute left before we kick it in. But yeah, just wanted you to dwell on that because these were struggles that I dealt with every day. And you look at people now who commit suicide because of, little differences like that. I dealt with a lot. I dealt with so much growing up. And you look at me now, you don't really see the results of that. You look at me perform music live. You look at me and I'm, in church preaching and whatnot. But you have no idea the struggles that I have inside of me to this very day. I feel social anxiety. I feel incredible anxiety talking to people. But you would never know that because you don't see it. On the outside, you don't see nothing, but on the inside, it's like going through hell. Anyway, guys, we'll be right back after this musical break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll continue this discussion.
I ain't doing this to entertain you. Coming for your soul, coming for your pain too. Deep-rooted things that you buried in the ground that affect what you do, even in your life now. Lies you believe, voices that you hear, veil over your eyes, demons always near. Whisper sweet nothings to corrupt you and deceive, constricting your life, even the air you breathe. Giving up your body cause you can't find love. Living paranoid, there's no one you trust. Smoking on the daily to bring your stress down. Living as a slave when you should wear a crown. Always hide behind a mask, what's your identity? Devil wanna rob you clean, yeah, he your enemy. Blinding you, keeping you in a matrix. Mountains in your life are waiting for you to face it. Don't you stay defeated, you got a champion side. Throw your stones in anxiety, finish off your pride. Say goodbye to depression, reject rejection. Ignore double-mindedness, it's confession. You were made to be whole, have peace parts of your soul. It's time to take back everything that he stole. Get your joy, get your strength and your breath. Begin again, just see what's next. I command your blind eyes to open as you listen. Jesus is the one to fill all the pieces missing. He will resurrect your dead man. Take your lame situation, get your legs a stand. If you really want this, you really gotta fight. Turn on the light switch, turn darkness into light. Make demons scatter like roaches in the hood. Freedom begins with Jesus on the wood. He's the only way to escape the pain you feel. Not sex, not Henny, not popping any pills. Earthly remedies and satisfied for the day. Once they leave you, you feel the same way. Don't you wanna change your side, you wanna scream. Sometimes you wake up and wish it was a dream. Truth of the matter is based off a decision. I know you're thinking you don't wanna be Christian. Probably think I'm trying to convert you to Christianity. Truth is Christians are dealing with the same insanity. I'm just giving you a way out of the mess. Most of you are tired, I wanna see you rest. In the arms of the one that love you the most. Let me introduce you to the Lord of hosts. He's my Abba, he's my Father, he's my everything. And if you let him in, I know he'll break every chain, every chain, every chain.
Turn it up.
This is not your ordinary radio.
What you got? All right.
You're listening to Ant Radio.
Where the party
Brought
at?
to you by D2S Records. We got you in the mix.
Music needles inject quick and it slowly perseveres, sinking into my bloodstream while the talent that reappears. When you left my soul, I surely missed you, my old friend. I was a fool to believe that the silence was golden. These days, my ink is running low as talent comes and goes. My brain becomes a talent show at night when I'm alone. Even now, cause I write these pieces, knowing the decent, I still need them like a release just to believe in. Music notes in this pill bottle that I need to swallow. I'd rather become a toast than a ghost who knows sorrow. And now that I'm awake, my hope goes and goes farther. Vibe while this inner fiend grows and grows stronger. Now I'm taking steps, though it's like a lick into the system. It doesn't take much for my thirst to flicker with addiction. If I were dead, I couldn't live without music notes, cause this has always been my love, my drug, and my antidote.
Well, hello, old friend. The night is dark and I feel cold. The sun is setting. I need to get out before it starts. I can feel it and I know it's not the same. I'm the one, you're the drug to ease my pain. I was wondering if you'll ever see me again. If you'll ever see me again.
I'm aware of my situation, I never wanna change it. I switch from positive ways to rehab to feel the change in. For sure I couldn't break up my love for music and addiction for rapping. And when the day's done, I've come so far, never going back to the days of not rapping, and that's a fact. Because I'm on par, in fact a level higher than what I was at, and I'm never going back. I'm just addicted, no, it's a true love. From my music I would share what I would call true blood. I'm not a dang bloodsucker, not a thirsty vampire. I just crave for my music to get your hands tired. So raise them up as high as you can to feel my heartbeat. How does it feel to touch an addict stash, though it's hardly beating? I know you're already reading what it's like to be an artist like me, who's addicted to see.
Your voice is fading, a distant sound, a silent call. It keeps me waiting, want to catch me if I fall. I can feel it and I know it's not the same. I'm the one, you're the drug to ease my pain. I was wondering if you'll ever see me again. If you'll ever see me again.
That was Old Friend by Rhetoric, and that came right after Deliverance by Blaze Torch. Hope you enjoyed those, and let me know what you think of having that little break in for me talking a little bit, and then a little music break, and then me talking again, and got another music break after this. Figured it help people to stay focused. All right, so and just to let you know, this is another invitation. If you are an artist, if you do your own music, we'd love to be able to feature you on the show. Just go ahead and go to ampedradiolive.com and you can submit it there, or you can go to your email and then email us at ampedradio. So ampedradio at deaf2selfrecords.com. That's deaf, the number 2, selfrecords.com. All right, so getting back to my story for His glory, how to turn your struggles into victories. Now, I don't expect everyone to understand my struggles. And that's where I want to preface this next part with, is I don't understand you. I mean, I don't expect you to understand specifically. For you, this may not seem like anything, but for me, it is. For me, this was a huge thing. My whole thing growing up was I just wanted to fit in. You know why? Because before I started going to school, I was a very bubbly, happy kid, and I loved everyone, and I didn't discriminate. There was lots of kids in school that they would get picked on for having, I don't know, different color eyes. I remember there was this one girl, and she was black, and her skin was kind of like lighter, so I don't know how to explain it, but I remember her name. Her name was Hazel, and she had these beautiful hazel eyes. I guess that's where she got her name from. They were kind of like a greenish hazel. And so I remember the first day that she came in, she was getting picked on right away. And I remember she sat across from me, and we were facing each other, and she sat there, she started crying. I couldn't take my eyes off this girl because I didn't think that she was ugly because her skin looked a little different than everyone else's, or the fact that her eyes were a different color. I thought she was beautiful. And I told her, I said, you know what? I don't understand why these guys are saying this. You look beautiful. She smiled at me. And eventually she became popular and then forgot about me. But my point is that there was a lot of kids that used to get made fun of for just the smallest little insignificant differences. And I found them amazing. And then they became popular and left me alone. I was still the white kid, still the kid that was, off to the corner drawing Sonic the Hedgehog by himself, I mean, I guess I didn't make it too much better for myself because I was a little bit on the weird side. But, nature versus nurture. I mean, there's only so many times that you can be picked on before you start to lose some of that you had with you. And it did trip me out because, to this day, I look at it, I guess I'm telling on myself because I married a white woman, right? In my mind's eye, and again, this is full transparency. I'm just telling you what it is on my side of the story. So I'm being vulnerable for a minute. Please don't judge me. Just listen. But in my mind, I've always considered myself to be a white guy, even though I'm not white at all. But I've always considered myself I resonated, I've resonated with white characters in movies and comics and stuff like that, just because that's how I always saw myself, even though I myself wasn't that. And it was only because I was picked on so many times and told that's what I was, And again, there's no reason why that's a bad thing or anything, but the reason why I bring that up, the whole point of that is to tell you that it put me outside of fitting in. It put me outside of where I wanted to be. And what I wanted to be was I wanted my home to feel like home. I wanted my block to be like my block. I felt like I was just an alien in where I was. And the fact that I dealt with being picked on and bullied on a daily basis, it was not fun. It was devastating. And it wasn't until I started going to high school, so I was in the Bronx, right? My high school was in Manhattan. So I had to travel miles and miles and miles away from my area to be accepted. But by that time, the damage is already done. My psyche was already damaged. To this day, like I said, I deal with social anxiety. I deal with things that you probably never would guess that I deal with. And that's because I'm always worried what people are going to say about me, what they're really thinking about me. I worry so much about the words that come out my mouth because I'm so scared that people are going to take it offensively. And when they do, it's like, man, I just can't win, And yeah, to this day, it's funny because if I go to white people, they'll tell me, I say, hey, what do you think I am? Oh, you're definitely not white. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely not white. But if I go to black people, I'm like, all right, what do you think I am? You're white, right? What do you mean? I mean, you're a cracker. No, I'm not a cracker. No, I'm not white. But that's how it always was, and that's how it always is. Even when I moved down here, I remember working for Lowe's, I worked for Lowe's, and I worked in the paint department, and my partner in the paint department was a black guy. And so this customer came in, he was also black. He came in, he looked at me, he was staring at me, and I'm like, hi, sir, how can I help you? And the dude goes, "Yo, man, I'm sorry, bro, but yo, you look like a black man and white man put together, man." And then I turned around on my boy, who, by the way, my partner was also Jason. His name was Jason too. I remember that. And he cracked up and he was falling on the floor. He's like, you do, ah! And just fell on the floor laughing. And I mean, I know how to take a joke. I know how to play around. So that didn't bother me. But my point is that, that's how it's always been. And, most people can learn to own up to that and be like, all right, well, I'm just different. That's okay. But in my younger development days, that really hurt because all I wanted to do was to love on people. All I wanted to do was to fit in, have lots of friends. And I felt like a big part of me learning social skills and, how to make friends easy, all of that was taken from me because I was picked on and bullied and told that I was something that I wasn't. And in my mind, it doesn't, like, no matter how they saw me, there's no wrong way. Like, even if I was white, even if I wasn't white, to me, it doesn't matter at all, period. What mattered was the perception that people were giving towards me and how they reacted because of their perception, because of how they defined me. And bottom line was, I was pushed outside of that circle of, acceptability, of being accepted. I was pushed outside. I did not fit in. And that's what killed me most of all. So, how to turn that story into God's glory? It's still a work in progress, to be honest. I mean, obviously I don't deal with the same kind of, I don't deal with that kind of being ostracized, being bullied like I did when I was a kid. But the effects are still there in my psyche, in my mentality, So it's really just giving it to God every single day. And in a sense, I'm using it as part of my testimony because, I'm not alone. There's tons of people. You don't have to be one color or another. You don't have to be a specific color to have to deal with that, what I dealt with, being bullied, being picked on for how you look, for the color of your skin, for the color of your eyes, for how long your neck is, for how skinny or fat you are, for being straight, gay, for being this or that. That is consistent throughout all culture. And so, everybody to some degree can relate to that. But the difference is how you deal with it, as a result. In the Bible, in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, it says, "And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose." So if you truly believe that God is with you, that he's covering you, you should also understand that, no matter what you deal with, as hard as it can be, you are covered by him and you will, it will work out for you. Like, again, like I say, for me, it's being used to keep myself humble, first of all, and also it gives me something to tell and to relate with people about and say, hey, I know what it's like not to fit in, believe me, and it's okay. We can do this together. We can get through this together. So in that sense, God is using what I went through, all the struggles that I've been through, for his glory, and it's just going to continue to grow. So my story will be used to help other people who can relate. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed that. All right, so we are wrapping this up, guys. Hope you enjoyed what I got to share. It was a little personal. Hopefully it didn't offend or bother anyone. That wasn't my intention. It was just to share what I've been through growing up. And I would like for you to subscribe to us. You can subscribe on Facebook, YouTube. Go to ampedradiolife.com and check it out. We are going to wrap this up with I Fell by Conscious, followed by Ready to Fly by T. Holmes featuring Sheena Lee. It's your boy S.A. This is episode 16. We'll see y'all next week. Stay tuned, and I will catch y'all next time. Much love, God bless, and as always, peace.
And to articulate life from a whole different paradigm, you know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of issues and a lot of realities that are not spoken on in music. And, some of those realities I enjoy talking about.
I had to see it for myself, the cost was stale, lost and frail, locked in jail. I told God I'd be back, thought that he bailed. He was there but couldn't see me when off the trail. Thrill seeking in the pleasures and often failed. Had me caught up in a trap, shocked and pale. Forgot the map, detoured and it dropped the sail. Got evicted from my home and it stopped the mail. The story was limitless with the pain. Idle to women, remember what it became. The news she gave me, delivered it with a bang. Shivering in the rain, feeling simple and plain. School was worse, athletics soaked in passion. I thought that I was great but felt pathetic, so I asked him, Coach, what's the percentage that I ain't average? Gave me a look that had me feeling like a basket. Swoosh! Trash, irony. Sports, I knew it had said goodbye to me. My thoughts went Porsche to Buick in a rivalry, violent aside denial of things that I thought that I would be. Picked up a mic again, it's time again, beats again, seeking him in line, trying to rhyme again. Attention came from the therapy that I painted, but attention turned to me and not him. Dang it, I fell flat. What would you do? In a position trying to live what you used to. In the end, you just wanted to be useful. I'm trying to live. So tell me, what would you do? Tell me, what would you do? You do. Tell me, what would you do? You do. While I was trying to live, the devil had me doing voodoo. But who knew? Only God, he was waiting till I left what I was used to. Could it be my perspective's a little tainted, reflections a little vacant, letting it start changing, peddling into Satan and letting him get my patience. Tried to serve the Lord, never wanted to betray him. Thrill seeking in the pleasures, but not for him, at the expense of a treasure inside within. Robbed again, lost again. I fell flat up on my face and the cost was grim. I started to see that God intervened. A horror movie turned good, remodeled the scene. I felt awful for the flaws I wanted to clean. I built my foundation up and he brought me a queen. As far as sports, my athletics went to train, and my life was a gym with lines used to contain it. Post to 3, continually I would drain it. The game changed the way I played, hard to explain it. I couldn't make the time to let anger aside, portraying what was danger and gave no reply. Blood soaked, deranged, it wouldn't dry. A love note that slayed all of my pride. The void I felt, Americanized, had me feeling like Biggie, ready to die. I'm staring at the sky, barely alive. Scripture etched in my heart, merely to survive. But I fell flat. What would you do? In a position trying to live what you used to. In the end, you just wanted to be useful. I'm trying to live. So tell me, what would you do? Tell me, what would you do? You do. Tell me, what would you do? You do. While I was trying to live, the devil had me doing voodoo. But who knew? Only God, he was waiting till I left what I was used to.
When I grew up, I had family members in prison, and I thought it was normal. Like, being in prison actually was a badge of honor growing up too. So it was kind of like, I didn't realize how detrimental it was, and how it wasn't dope. Until you get older and you realize, man, like, this is painful. Like, kids are pulled away from families. Sons don't get to see their parents, and so on and so forth. So, man, I just wanted to, kind of step in and demonstrate, what love and what consistency and mentorship looks like.
Turn it up.
This is not your ordinary radio.
What you got? All right.
You're listening to Ant Radio.
Where the party
Brought
at?
to you by D2S Records. We got you in the mix.
GMG is so musical.
Yeah. Got the wings of an ego. Soaring this high must be illegal. Press towards the mark, the higher place. But not until I'm covered with Messiah's grace. Yeah, waiting on you, Lord. I realize I'ma always need you more. See, I'm looking past the sky and I want you to know I'm
ready to fly.
Yeah. Said I wouldn't make it, that I don't have the skills to be great, and instead of being filled with deep hate, I stuck my face in the presence of the Lord and seek patience. They wanted me to quit, but I didn't, and I still won't, cause God isn't finished. Nah, I can't give in, believe I gotta be awake to live out my dreams. Yeah, man, it's hard to stay focused. Everyone around wants me to remain hopeless, but there's no need to fight or curse. The war that I'm in is not against persons, so the weapons that I use ain't physical. Hope my lyrics pierce deep in your spiritual. This ain't just a song that is tight cool. This is flight school, this is flight school. Yeah, got the wings of an ego. Soaring this high must be illegal. Press towards the mark, the higher place. But not until I'm covered with Messiah's grace. Yeah, I waited on you, Lord. I realized I'ma always need you more. See, I'm looking past the sky and I want you to know I'm yeah. Oh Lord, yeah. Oh Lord, they said run before you soar, you should wait longer. Success just seems to make the hate stronger. Well, just so y'all know, the word says I will mount up with wings if I waited on him. And yes, I rested in his hands. My life is in his will, so I'm following his plan. Motivated by hate and the promise that he gave me. I'm only changed by God, that's amazing. Don't lose hope, let God move you. Don't ever believe he can't use you. Reject all the lies, reach for the dream that you see in your mind. Yeah, I was raised for the youth. Hit the booth and hope you receive truth. See, if not, you would never see. Don't reach for the stars, go higher than they'll ever be. Yeah, got the wings of an ego. Soaring this high must be illegal. Press towards the mark, the higher place. But not until I'm covered with Messiah's grace. Yeah, I waited on you, Lord. I realize I'ma always need you more. See, I'm looking past the sky and I want you to know I'm Oh Lord, say I'm ready to fly. Yeah, I'm ready to fly. Oh Lord, yeah, I'm ready to fly. This ain't a song that is type cool. This is flight school. 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 This ain't just a song that is type cool. This is flight school. 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 Don't lose hope. Let God move you. Don't ever believe he can't use you. Reject all the lies. Reach for the dream that you see in your mind. Yeah, I was raised for the youth. Hit the booth and hope you receive truth. See, if not, you would never see. Don't reach for the stars, go higher than they'll ever be. 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 Go higher than they'll ever. Don't reach for the stars, go higher than they'll ever be. Go higher than they'll ever be. See, I'm looking past the sky and I want you to know I'm yeah.